Viewer advisory. The following analysis includes a speculative scenario for discussion and education. Always verify with multiple sources. Venezuela has always been geopolitically important, but right now it's in the headlines for dramatic reasons. A sudden U.S. military operation has just removed Nicolas Maduro from power, raising global tensions and spotlighting Venezuela's strategic value like never before. In today's video, we're not just going to recount events. We're going to explain why the whole world cares about this country, from Washington to Beijing, from energy markets to regional stability. Here's what you need to know. We'll cover oil and gas, minerals and water, geography, great power rivalry, migration and international law. Chapters are time-stamped below. Let's start with the current situation. Context matters, and timing matters even more. January 2026. At the very start of 2026, U.S. forces carried out a surprise operation in Venezuela that resulted in the capture of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Washington says the move targets narco-terrorism and corruption. Critics say it's a direct intervention in sovereign politics. The European Union is urging a peaceful and democratic transition, warning against undermining Venezuelan sovereignty. Meanwhile, global reactions are sharply divided. Maduro's vice president has rejected the U.S. action and still claims legitimacy, creating a complex political standoff. Let's situate this. Venezuela sits at the northern edge of South America with a Caribbean frontage that links it to hemispheric trade and security dynamics. Key capitals are watching closely. The United States, China, and Russia each have stakes that ripple into global markets and alliances. Competing narratives are already shaping public opinion and policy options. On the ground, Venezuelans are navigating uncertainty, cues, and a rapidly shifting news cycle. Now the big piece: energy. First and foremost, Venezuela holds the largest proven oil reserves on Earth at over 300 billion barrels, surpassing Saudi Arabia. That's not just numbers, that's power. These reserves are vast, but development depends on capital, technology, and governance. Why does that matter? Because oil still powers global economies, and Venezuelan crude is heavy crude, exactly what many refineries, especially in the US, are designed to process. Compatibility with complex refineries translates into strategic leverage. Control of those resources gives whoever runs Venezuela influence over global energy markets, which means prices, inflation, and economic stability worldwide. When Venezuelan barrels move or stop, futures curves and consumer prices react. Sanctions, outages, or investment surges can swing supply by hundreds of thousands of barrels per day. That ripple hits shipping, insurance, and currency markets. But tapping heavy crude at scale needs long-cycle investment, diluents, upgraders, and predictable rules. Infrastructure bottlenecks and power reliability can cap throughput. Restarting idle facilities takes parts, partners, and time. Creative logistics have kept some flows alive despite restrictions. Blend quality, sulfur content, and pricing differentials set Venezuela apart from light sweet competitors. Demand cycles, travel, industry, heating amplify the impact of any Venezuelan supply shock. If governance stabilizes, the prize is enormous. If not, the opportunity cost will be felt worldwide. Energy isn't only crude. It's not just oil. Venezuela also has huge natural gas reserves, a strategic hedge in an era of energy volatility. Water resources and strategic minerals like nickel and copper sit beneath its soil, resources critical for everything from agriculture to advanced technology and electric vehicles. Minerals feed batteries, grids, and semiconductors, supply chains everyone is racing to secure. Freshwater underpins cities, farming, and hydropower resilience. This means Venezuela isn't just vital to fossil fuels. It could matter in renewable energy supply chains too. Critical inputs for electrification hinge on stable, transparent sourcing. Domestic gas could stabilize grids and support industry if investment returns. Geography is destiny and leverage. Let's map it. Venezuela sits on the northern coast of South America, overlooking the Caribbean, one of the most strategic maritime regions in the world. That position gives it influence over key shipping lanes, proximity to the Panama Canal, and immediate relevance to U.S. national security interests. Maritime security, energy transport, and disaster response all converge here. From rainforest to mountains to plains, terrain shapes border control and illicit flows. Porous frontiers complicate migration management and trade, and the great powers are invested. Venezuela is a geopolitical tug-of-war between great powers. The US wants regional stability and energy security in the Western Hemisphere. China loaned tens of billions, primarily backed by oil contracts, giving it deep economic ties. Russia has military and energy cooperation and has positioned itself as a strategic ally. Who controls Venezuela's future shapes global influence, not just regionally, but internationally. Tools include sanctions, financing, tech transfer, and security cooperation. Outcomes will be negotiated in embassies, not only on the streets. Supply chains, rigs, spare parts, diluents become geopolitical levers. Next, people, borders, and the human cost. For years, Venezuela's economic collapse, driven by mismanagement, sanctions, and institutional breakdown, has created one of the largest migration crises in the Americas, with millions fleeing abroad. That means pressure on neighboring states, strained resources, and political debates from Bogotá to Buenos Aires. Instability in Venezuela is not contained. It spills into regional economics, politics, and security. Coastal and border enforcement strain under smuggling and trafficking risks. Communities absorb newcomers. Schools, clinics, and housing adapt. The legal and moral questions are next. Whether or not you think intervention is justified, what happens in Venezuela now will define the limits of international law, sanctions policy, and how global powers engage with contested governments. Does the world accept military intervention for democracy, for security, for resource control? Venezuela might become the test case for the rest of this decade. Public opinion will pressure policymakers, domestically and abroad. So what does all this mean? Venezuela's importance isn't just or historical or emotional or rhetorical, it's structural. Oil and energy, geography, great power competition, migration and international law all collide here. It's a microcosm of the 21st century geopolitical landscape, contested authority, contested resources, and contested influence. If you want a deeper dive into how Venezuela's oil could reshape global energy markets, or what a post-Maduro Venezuela might look like, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future videos.